But good. I am itchy, so you won't hear me scratching.
All right.
Dry skin. Check it out.
It's raining outside right now. I mean, if you need to go hydrate that skin, you know.
Is that... How come when you're in the shower, they say it dehydrates you?
Because the human body is disgusting and stupid. I don't know. It's just poorly designed garbage.
It's washing away essential oils that keep your skin moist. Is that right?
Yeah, the skin's really into the essential oil business.
Essential oils, is that selling you oils that mimic those? Or is that just wipes directly off of somebody else's naturally moist and sweaty body?
Oh, I definitely think that they're produced exclusively taken from other people's bodies, yeah. Maybe the recently dead, you know, you skin them and then you just wring the skin out into a bucket like it's a damp cloth.
Because we all know oil and blood don't mix, so the blood will rise and then you just
do we all know that?
Oil
I don't know that I knew that.
I assume if I know anything about liquids of different viscosities, they don't mix. Is it viscosity that doesn't make the mix? I guess I don't know. I don't have a good idea.
I was gonna say, if you say you're pretty sure, don't
viscosity.
Make a statement and then immediately question that self-same statement.
You're right. I used to have so much more confidence when spouting absolute bullcrap, but as I get older, I'm like, man, do I have a responsibility of what I say? Do I hold any responsibility of putting something out there that's clearly not true?
And what was the answer? Probably not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would just go no, because I don't want to.
That's as good a reason as any I've ever heard. No, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
All right, let's get it going. You gotta say hi like you're walking up behind someone and startling them. Do you remember?
It's more of like a hey, and
I'm Sean.
Welcome to Heads Up with Jeff and Sean.
Let's go.
I'm Jeff.
Let's go on all day. I don't.
That's really good, Sean.
I want to do this all day. Speed it up. That's right. Lunch is coming.
You said before lunch, and lunch is coming. All right. This is obviously a podcast, because if you're listening to it, you're probably somewhere where you listen to podcasts.
Well, it could be like a live stream that was turned into a audio recording, right?
It's true. It could be, but you
yeah, I'm just
specifically know that it's not.
I'm saying obviously, and I don't know that the listener knows that that's obvious. And I don't want them to feel any stupider than they already do listening to this podcast.
You fucking stupid listeners, you dummies. You're right. And next episode we will live stream.
We're gonna be Twitch streamers.
Yeah, we're on Twitch and Mixer. I'm gonna be recording my end on Twitch, and Sean will be recording his end on Mixer.
That's gonna be tough because I don't know what Mixer is.
It's Microsoft's glob on to the Twitch.
Well, why do I have to have the cheap knockoff?
It's their
Twitch. You know Microsoft doesn't do it as good.
I don't know. I'm guessing you have an Xbox in your room. I'm guessing you have a Windows-based computer.
I have a Windows-based computer. I have a broken Xbox.
It still counts.
I don't know that it does. Disagree.
I'm just saying. It seems like you love Microsoft.
What's the podcast about? That's the next part, right? So we can get closer to the end.
Right. I was in the middle of saying that, and you got me all distracted by telling me how much you love Microsoft.
Just want to kiss Bill Gates on his mouth.
His cute little mouth. His, you think you could buy new glasses or pants, but I mean, I don't know. I've never made it to $1 billion, so maybe it's saving money on glasses and pants. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna do a few things. We're gonna do 3 different things.
The first is we're gonna have a really long discussion about Bill Gates' pants. So I guess we're doing 4.
I guess they've come back into style. Maybe, I don't know. Eventually, we're gonna talk about a candy that hopefully we both ate. We're gonna try to expand on a movie to make it more of a franchise, like modern day movies that only got one shot at telling the story.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And yeah, and but first we usually talk about animals.
I forgot about that too.
What did you think this podcast is about,
I haven't
Sean?
thought about it in so long. I was on sabbatical. Just going to other podcasts, seeing how they do it.
Kind of a walkabout. I think sabbatical is probably fine. I don't need to.
No, yeah, it was like a walkabout. I would say maybe synonymous with a walkabout, but
yeah.
So, because I didn't think about the podcast and don't ever, I didn't look up an animal or think about an animal ever.
Sorry, we had a listener request.
We did?
Yeah.
I meant we had a listener?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And it wasn't even Brett or nothing.
Disappointing. Just whoever it is, I'm disappointed in you.
But Sean, they wanted us to talk about an animal known as the Virginia opossum.
Okay. Is this request from you? Is this...
Yeah. I am the listener.
Right.
I'm very excited about this. No.
Let's talk about some nasty opossum or whatever.
Well, now it's time to get online to our internet service provider. It'll be cool. Here we go.
What do you know about possums, Sean? What do you? Can I say just possum, even though there's an O in front of it?
Yeah, I'll know what you're talking about.
Because I don't want to say opossum. It's like opossum, right? You say it like a...
I don't know or care. They eat ticks, right?
Ew.
I think they eat...
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I know you're not supposed to, like, don't interfere with them. They're beneficial to humans because I think they eat, like, little bug vermin that we don't like. Nice. I mean, humans as a whole, they would eat a lot more bugs if they were eating bugs I didn't like. But, yeah, I think they're, like, good for the environment in ways that, like, a dog or a cat probably isn't.
In the exact opposite way a dog or a cat is, right?
Useless pieces of shit. Fucking hangers on.
Every picture I see of a possum online is either like they're stone faced or they're just shocked. They're just shocked. Their mouth is agape. They're staring directly at you.
Well, yeah. Well, they probably don't want to get fucking murdered. Like, they see a human and they're like, "Oh shit, this thing is widely known for killing all animal life it encounters."
But they play dead. They don't. These ones are like standing up, just like mouth wide open, beady eyed.
I don't know, man. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're shocked that you didn't ask permission before taking their picture.
True.
I also the possum it's in a meme, right? The where it screams at its own butt.
Yeah.
I know that because the first time I saw it was pretty funny.
That's right. Now, Sean, do you think a possum is a cute animal? Do you think it's like when you see it, you're like, oh, like a cat, or more like a...
You're being pretty presumptuous about whether or not I think cats are cute. But they're fine. Animals are fine if I don't have to be near them, generally. Except for insects. And maybe
even if you're not near an insect, it's
no good. And maybe other people. But other than those two exceptions.
When we do human for animal...
I got a lot of improvements to make, yeah.
They are in for it.
Get rid of this voice box. Tired of hearing about it. Yeah, that's about all I know. They're kind of furry. They do have those like triangle heads, right?
Yeah. With
the big eyes.
Yeah.
And I think they have long fingers. But
it's hard to tell. There's not really a lot of highlighting of their fingers in these pictures.
So yeah, tell me about the opossum. I mean, if this was a request, then you obviously did a ton of research beforehand to sound really smart.
Yeah, because that's what people have come to expect. It's very well researched. It's about animals on the show here. They're a marsupial.
Oh yeah.
That means they got a pouch to carry their kids in. You know, I believe they're the only marsupial in North America, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could be.
Yeah,
wrong.
I don't think we have many marsupials, so it's more of like an Australia thing, right?
Oh yeah, super Australia thing. I think in South America there are some marsupials, like some like weird squirrel things and whatnot. But
gross.
Did you know when they play dead, they may also release fecal matter and a green foul-smelling mucus excreted from its anal glands?
Doesn't that happen when they die anyway?
Yeah.
So like, they would have to.
That's how good they are at playing dead.
They would have to convince other people. Like, if you're playing dead but you're not shitting your pants, you're not really doing it right.
I don't want to say that like skunks really nailed it and the possums went too far, because a skunk will just release foul-smelling stuff and still get away, where a possum like is out for, it says, up to hours.
So they just take a nap.
Hours. Yeah.
Like that. Well, that's I like that's I can respect. That's all in. Like if this doesn't work, I'm dead anyways. So I'm just gonna cut out for a couple hours.
Their breathing slows, so you can poke them, even bite, and they won't show any signs of suffering.
Right.
Which is like insane.
Right. They check out, and then if they wake up dead, well, then that's what happened.
Yeah. And according to SeaWorld.org, a trusted organization for animals, scientists have yet to determine whether feigning death is deliberate or an involuntary reaction.
Okay. The whole species does it though.
Yeah.
Okay. That feels like an adaptation, but
Wasn't it like those fainting goats? Is that involuntary? You ever see the people sneak up on certain kind of goats and they just like go?
But like, do they do that in the wild, or do we breed that into them as like a fucking joke, just to like dunk on goats?
Yeah, some farmer was like, "Man, this goat just fainted. I'm gonna stud this one out." But recordings of brain activity show the possum is in a highly alert state while feigning its death, though. So its breathing's very slow, but it's very aware of what's going on. But might be doing that on accident. I don't know. Scientists have no idea.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't relate to some nasty sex thing, so scientists are just largely uninterested.
Yeah. It says they have 50 razor-sharp teeth, the highest number of teeth found in any land mammal.
Oh, that's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I like that.
That's one thing that's gonna carry on to the new possums.
If anything, they're gonna get more. But
this is the SeaWorld.org has a lot of facts here.
I'm sorry. Hold up. Are you taking money from them? Because when you introduced SeaWorld.org, you were like a trusted news source about animals or whatever, and now you're talking about how great their info is and how much info there is. It's fine if you're getting paid. I think the responsible thing to do is for you to let the listener.
You want to taste?
No, I don't. I don't need to get my beak wet. Not to spoil some of the changes we're gonna make to humans. No, I don't. It's if you're accepting money from an institution to praise them, you should let people know that.
That's true. Hashtag ad.
So you did is what I'm hearing.
No.
Okay. All right.
I would though. I would.
Yeah. We're very open to
just-
taking money to say anything you want.
Yeah. I think SeaWorld could use the positive press, you know.
Yeah, you don't hear about SeaWorld in a good way these days.
No. It's so bad that they're trying to just distance themselves from sea creatures in general that they're talking about possums.
Well,
I can't believe
so
it.
they probably just used to take possums and throw them into the whale enclosures. And just be like, we guess they eat those, we don't know. The possums don't come out, so I guess, whatever.
If they get hungry enough. They don't like there's no sources really on these facts.
It's SeaWorld.
And number 4 is from prehistoric time to modern day, the opossum is virtually unchanged. Some scientists refer to it as a living fossil. That's not really. I can't believe that.
Why?
I mean, some scientists refer to it as a living fossil. It just.
Well, they do that with like sharks and I think alligators, right? They haven't really changed since.
But the possum though.
Well, he's like a small mammal. He could have been around been around since forever.
Zim. Yeah,
I accept it
guess.
without questioning it, I guess is what I'm saying.
I guess. But you think you'd like add stuff to that, like a picture of fossil records of the possum, or
Yeah.
you know, why is it only some scientists? Like, what scientists are being like, nah, after doing the research? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Dentists probably.
Some scientist who doesn't like the word living fossil. Technically, that's not correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my dolphin sex research.
Gross.
Yeah, let's see. What else?
They got white faces, right?
Yeah, they totally have white faces. Possum is an Algonquin Indian name meaning white animal. Sorry.
Oh.
The term marsupial comes from the Latin word.
I'm an opossum.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a white animal.
Cool.
Latin word marsupium, which refers. Yeah, okay, I knew what marsupial means. Come on, SeaWorld.
They're reaching. They're just desperate for. We haven't kept in captivity and been killing for years an intelligent ocean-going species. I'm reading here that opossums have 13 nipples arranged in a circle of 12 with one in the middle.
What? Weird.
Which kind of seems like a thing that a bunch of wizards would do.
What's fucked up if you can actually draw a perfect pentagram if you connect the dots.
It's you only summon nipple demons though, which is just really not very helpful no matter what brand of magic you're into.
I mean, they seem like long. They're like the size of a house cat, really, right? Maybe a little bit bigger.
I would guess. I don't know.
And I think house cats' nipples. I haven't seen any in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they're just like 2 rows, right down the middle.
Sounds right, but I don't think enough about cat nipples to know. So,
is it just like did cat nipples evolve to the straight lines? And since an opossum is a living fossil, it's a circle of nipples with a nipple in the middle. I mean,
do you think the opossum maybe was born and bred in hell, and that's why it has the little summoning circle diagram etched on it in nipples?
Possibly. I mean, there's really no other good explanation for it. They're surprisingly resistant to rabies.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, they can like fight rabies out in the wild where we don't have to know about it.
Most likely because they have lower body temperatures than most. Man, there's a lot of words I don't know today. Computer, tell me what this word is.
Think about it. I'm seeing here that not only are they resistant to rabies, they're also very resistant to snake venom. And in captivity, opossums are known to engage in cannibalism, which is like a weird fact to let us know. Like, hey, when you like put them in cages together, they'll eat each other if you don't feed them. It's like, oh, cool, great. That's a good thing to know about possums. They have a breeding season.
Okay.
It begins for the Virginia opossum. It begins as early as December and continues through October. So
as early as December, you said?
So
and last until October.
So it's just November. They don't. That sounds more like a religious exception. Yeah. Like they have like a species-wide Lent where they give up having sex just for November.
They must have busy Novembers, huh?
Well, you know, the holidays coming up. They gotta prepare. Let's see. During mating season, the male attracts the female by making clicking sounds with its mouth. So, not that different from humans.
Commonly seen hanging outside of a car, honking and clicking.
I think you mean his best friend's ride, hanging out the passenger side.
In December 2010, a cross-eyed Virginia possum in Germany's Leipzig Zoo named Heidi became an international celebrity.
I was still talking about how they reproduce, though, because the male's penis is bifid, which means it has 2 heads.
Whoa. Was it... What do you need that for?
The sperm pair up in the testes and only separate as they come close to the egg. Well, so there's teamwork. That's cool.
They pair up? They go in 2s?
It says,
and then when they get to the
egg...
It
says they pair up, yeah.
What are they fighting in there?
I don't know.
What are they working towards?
Like all female marsupials, the female reproductive system is also bifid. Maybe bifid. What? I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but 2 lateral vaginae, uteri, and ovaries.
So, all right. So it's got 2 vaginas, and the male has 1 penis with 2 heads.
Mm-hmm. This is what I'm reading. Yes.
I mean,
holy
how?
Yeah, sorry.
Wait,
Ask your question,
no, please. No, I can't form it correctly, so please.
All right.
On.
Well, with this, they just kind of double up on everything. You know, cool,
okay,
great.
Mm-hmm.
2 doinker heads, 2 vaginas. Okay, the teamwork in the sperm. It's common for 20 to 30 young to be born, and there are instances of even as many as 50 being born.
Oh, 1 per tooth.
But because of the 13 nipple situation we talked about earlier,
oh my God,
only the first 13 generally survive.
They can't take turns?
doesn't look like it, no.
Fuck.
So, yeah, that is a hellspawn reproductive system. 2 of everything. Put a demon summoning circle. They gotta feed off that. Anybody that comes after is dead.
Damn. All right, and I know it's okay. So it's, and I know I'm probably have to cut this too. Okay, so it's one penis.
I'm not looking. You can Google possum penis if you want. I am not. Even all these pictures of possums, even when they're hissing defensively, they look kind of nervous. Like,
yeah,
they're just really hoping you'll go away. Like, I don't want to have to fight. I'd really rather not be here. They're pretty great so far, by the way. I'm not seeing a lot of just a ton of teeth, a demon circle.
I looked up possum penis, and the first website I go to would like to send me notifications about the latest news and updates. No thanks. I think I'll just look up a possum penis once, and I'll be done with it.
They're catering toward the scientist crowd. Who they assume want to know a lot more about it. Really keep up to date, you know?
Yeah. Okay, this website assures me that male possums have 2-pronged penis, which perfectly matches up with the female's forked vagina. So it works out perfectly. I assumed like just the head was forked, and then so you wouldn't get, you wouldn't really get it up there.
A male possum definitely wrote that.
Yeah, they have great penises that work perfectly.
Perfect fit.
Never had any complaints.
Perfect fit every time.
I'm sorry, you'd moved on from possum penises, and
you had to know.
I just needed more.
You've got a scientist's mind. You had to know. Yeah, no. See, yeah, and opossums limit the spread of Lyme disease as they successfully kill off most disease-carrying ticks that feed on them.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
How do they know which one's a disease?
They might just eat them all. I mean,
true.
Ticks aren't that big.
If they're not in captivity trying to eat each other.
Yeah, if they haven't been trapped into a cycle of cannibalism by demonic humans, people are just the worst. Oh, you can eat them.
Can you? I mean, oh yeah, well, because they're very resistant to rabies, so it's not like you're less likely to catch rabies. But I mean, they eat ticks and garbage, right?
Yeah, but so what?
I mean, I guess lobsters eat poop, and people go nuts for them.
Yeah, lobsters are bottom feeders. All fish live in the ocean, which is essentially the world's toilet.
Yeah, and it's if people didn't dump their piss and shit into the ocean, they're still swimming around on their own piss and shit.
Exactly.
So, riddle me that.
I don't know what riddle that is, but all right. So do you have anything else to talk about opossums, or can we change them now? We gotta fix them.
No, we can change them. I mean, I've learned so much. I had no idea. Ugh. Ooh, fax it now. See, every time I possum, you know what I typed in possum food. It's telling me how to feed possums. I wanted to learn how to prepare a possum.
Okay, so do possum recipe. Place stuffed possum in roasting pan and add water, bouillon cubes, bay leaves, celery, and onion. Okay, so just kind of like a chicken.
Yeah. You think they're gamey? You think gamey is that a thing? Wild animals are.
They would be a game animal. Let's see.
Gotta raise them in captivity in those veal tanks. Get the possum meat real tender. All right, I'm done. I'm done learning about possums. I'm ready to change them.
All right. Did you put the sound effect in? Right. This is the spit in God's eye subsection.
Yeah.
Animal segment.
I'll get a soundboard. That way we can all hear it.
No. I should listen to the other episodes, but you know how I operate.
If you do, you can make a listener request.
No. Possums take longer to cook than taters, so wait until your possum is stewed for about an hour before you add the taters to the pot.
Of course, whoever wrote that recipe refers to potatoes as taters.
Yeah, well, this is from hillbillycrackpot.com. And this is the article is actually how to catch and cook a possum.
Oh, good. Yeah, because you're gonna want to know how to catch them, because you can't just buy it at your local down there, Piggly Wiggly. Is that a supermarket down there? Their lifespan is 2 to 3 years.
All right. Well, if we're gonna fix them, we gotta like double that. We got
sex 11 months of the year.
We gotta.
Damn.
Yeah, something we should all aim for. That sounds like the life, actually.
Yeah, they only live 7 years managed, which I guess means in captivity. Maybe if you don't have them bunked together.
I was gonna say, yeah. What do you mean managed? Did you manage to put a bunch together? Yeah, they definitely live shorter lives because they eat each other.
And I bet, in the wild, they probably spend a good amount of time playing dead. So, I mean, what's that? You get maybe like 2.5 years.
Yeah, but when you're not playing
like
dead
life.
or eating ticks, you're having sex.
Yeah, guys, that's true. The lights that burn twice as bright last half as long.
It's poetic. Did you just write that?
Yeah.
All right, so I think I don't know. I'm on the edge. Do they have enough teeth?
I mean, 50 is a lot of teeth.
The problem I'm running into is I'm not seeing if they lose them frequently.
Just to be sure, how about 3 rows of 50 teeth?
I think that's too many.
Well, because they fall out, then the other ones push forward,
But 3 rows? Look at their... Find one with his mouth open. Look how small that mouth is.
That's not hard to do.
Right, I know. People love taking pictures of them with their mouths open.
Yeah, I mean, they do have small mouths, but I would assume that there'd be small teeth, too. They're just razor sharp,
I mean, I guess.
I mean, listen, if you think it's too many, we can do, I don't know, 2 rows of 50 teeth. Is that better for you?
That sounds okay. I think a second row of teeth might be fine.
All right, good.
I don't think I like how they stand. And I
No?
get that they gotta like climb branches and stuff, but I don't like it when they're standing
Yeah.
on the ground. So I would like them to do that less.
Less standing.
Less standing on the ground specifically. They can stand in trees if they want.
You know what really I don't like about them?
I don't.
Is that tail. It looks like a rat tail, but they're like bigger than any rat I've ever seen. So it's just like a thick, just tail.
All right. What do you want to do about it?
I don't know.
Get rid of it entirely?
No, because I'm sure they use it for stuff. I mean, they didn't mention it ever, but I'm sure they must use it for some sort of stuff.
Right.
Maybe we cover the top in fur like the rest of its body, but we make it extra muscly, so when it's on the ground, it's not on those weird feet standing weirdly. It stands on the tail and moves it like a snake when it's on the ground.
You're gonna have to run that one by me again.
So its tail is basically like a snake's body.
Uh-huh.
And so but fur on the top, so it doesn't look gross. But instead of standing on the ground in the way you don't like, it uses its tail when it's on the ground to move, and so it'll move like a snake, and so its body is held up by that tail.
All right. So it's kind of like the monster form of Serpentor from G.I. Joe, or...
I don't think I've ever said this before. I don't get that reference.
Okay, that's bullshit. I specifically used that reference instead of using one that I understood better, which would be the Yuan-Ti from Dungeons and Dragons, which are people like they're like centaurs, but instead of a horse body, it's a snake body.
Go on.
And the G.I. Joe thing is an 80s cartoon. Oh my god.
I don't remember this guy at all. He looks like just a dude in a snake costume.
Sometimes, I swear to God, maybe it was a different character, I don't know.
Oh, he rides like a hoverboard that's shaped like a cobra.
It's G.I. Joe. They all ride hoverboards, Jeff. There's one where he's got a snake bottom.
Serpentor is a pretty good name,
Yeah,
though.
isn't it?
Yeah.
80s cartoons were the best.
It's gonna be my son's name. Oh, okay, I see an image here from Transformers animated series, but it's basically like a robot snake person with human arms and a snake body.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about then.
Okay.
You can't expect me. You
Yeah.
can't expect me to make a flawless reference.
Serpentor is a good pull.
For
Yeah,
me,
I
Serpentor's
mean-
a great pull, and it was baffling to me that you did not immediately grasp it. And I will never make that attempt again. I've learned my lesson.
When you said it, and you said G.I. Joe,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't get it, I panicked internally. I was like, I was like, oh no.
Well,
How did I fuck this up?
it's important. It's important that we all still have things to learn.
I should have just quietly Googled it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Ruined it. But yes, exactly the way you thought Serpentor was.
Okay, but wouldn't that snake bottom have to be really big to hold up the whole possum, and it's exactly 13 young and no more?
I guess. I mean, yeah, it's got to be a little bit thicker for sure than it is now, which is, I guess, what I said I hated about it. But I think if you cover the top with fur, I'd be more okay with it.
All right, we can give that a shot. I think also, since they live where the winter is, they should be able to make little mittens for their feet. I've seen a picture of one now, and it looks like he's cold as he's clinging onto this tree branch, and there's snow behind him.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to warm his hands up.
Right.
Rubbing them together.
Right. And it's just like,
Yeah.
that sucks. I don't like being cold. Why should he have to be cold?
Yeah, because his little fingers don't have any fur on them.
Exactly. And they're kind of pink and gross, and I don't like that, so I would like it if they were
Yeah.
covered in mittens.
Where do they get the material for the mittens?
That's a good question. Let's find out what they eat again. Anything they eat have fur they can use. They eat mice.
I mean, mice. They also go through garbage, so maybe they make garbage mittens.
Just take old mittens that people throw out.
Yeah, oh, don't leave your mittens out there. The possums will get them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm missing a mitten again. I bet it's one of them possums. Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Right? Kind of fits them neatly into the lore, right?
Yeah,
Kids
yeah.
can claim that they lost their mittens to a possum.
You just picture a possum taking one regular-sized child mitten and making 2 to 4 mittens out of it. Whatever's left over, they make a little hat.
Well, they're going to have exactly 13 young to also make mittens for, so they might not have enough for a hat, but...
That's a lot of work. Maybe that's what they do in November, you know?
Yeah, November is prep for the year.
October's
It's all...
It's all mitten making. Stealing and making mittens.
No time for sex.
No time for love, Dr. Jones. Can you say that anymore? Is it if I don't use his accent, can I still say
I don't remember. I know what you're referencing. It's Indiana Jones, but I don't remember clearly the scene it came from.
It's less the scene, it's more the character Short Round, who is doing an offensive Asian accent,
Yeah.
but is an Asian boy. But
How did Steven Spielberg survive that? Right? Did he direct that film?
no, but he took all the guns out of E.T., so I think he's good.
Oh.
He left the Asian stereotype in, but took out the guns.
Well, yeah.
from E.T.,
I mean,
so.
the guns hurt people. What is a negative Asian stereotype going to hurt? What, the Asian people as a
never
whole?
anybody.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's not his concern. All he does is make widely viewed popular media. He shouldn't have to think
Yeah.
about that at all.
What, they learned a second language, and it sounds kind of funny when they say it because they have an accent.
Big source for comedy.
Yeah. Just mind that.
Now I got to put Steven Spielberg on my list of famous people who should be in jail.
You know what? George Lucas was a producer on that movie, so can we just push it onto him, saying that was probably his fault?
He's already on the list, though. I don't think there's much to do with opossums here, though.
Yeah, they're almost perfect. I mean, we're still gonna leave them to play dead.
Okay, so we can address it. What do you want to? If you take, I mean, you can't. I don't know. You tell me. What do you want to do? I'm sorry. What do you want to do here?
I mean, it's great, but do you just want to play dead while they try to bite you? You know what I mean? I like the green foul-smelling stuff that comes from their anal glands. Maybe that can be more of a projectile, and when made contact with another animal or other animals smell that, it puts them into a temporary coma,
So
letting the possum escape.
So you give them knockout gas, like the Riddler,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so then it could squirt out of their snake tails now.
Yeah.
That would be like the perfect little, right at the end of the tail, they gather a little knockout Riddler gas poison.
It's like a James Bond car, kind of, just releasing the gas.
Well, I don't know then that the possum would run away. Looking at the list of things it eats, I think it might be using that offensively.
Are you thinking a predator comes up thinking they can eat a possum, it knocks it out and just eats
Yeah.
it? All right.
It makes them significantly more dangerous, but...
Your pelt will make for great mittens for my family.
But see, now I think they might be too strong.
I mean, you think that's too strong? Wait till they can actually summon Satan with those nipples.
I think they can do that now. They just choose not to.
How do you feel about their triangle heads, though?
I would like them to be more triangular. That would be great.
Real sharp edges.
Oh, okay. How about this? The head is like a pyramid shape, right?
Oh, okay.
And it
okay.
narrows up to a point, and the mouth opens up. Each side opens up, and then each side has a row of teeth, and then you get like 4 rows of teeth,
Yeah.
or rather 4 sets,
Yeah.
I guess, on each side. I think maybe we have to make them really more nervous, though. They're really they get all possums have anxiety now.
Yeah, they look like they have anxiety.
Right. We're just gonna make that like a fact.
Yeah.
So
now instead of like sitting there and making those weird faces, they also like uncontrollably kind of shake a little bit out of nervousness.
yeah, kind of puts a damper on them using their Riddler knockout gas too offensively. Right. They'll get too anxious about using it. Maybe another animal will see them and yell at them.
Yeah. Like if you just look at them, they're shaking. You think they do a pretty good Woody Allen impression. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see anything about them entering into incest marriages with their adopted children, so...
I suppose you're right. So.
And I don't want to give them that power, so... I'm done with possums.
Okay.
I also just don't want to talk about Woody Allen, so... He's on the list. He was already on the list, too, so...
The star of Ants, Woody Allen?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about
Yeah,
it?
noted
All right.
pervert. Woody Allen.
What do you think about making a universe out of the Labyrinth movies? Because there was only one, you know.
What happened in Labyrinth? Was that the Jennifer Connelly movie?
Jennifer Connelly, David Bowie,
Yeah.
Jim Henson, another George Lucas. I think George Lucas was involved in it. The role almost went to Michael Jackson, so the David Bowie role.
I was going to
not
say,
the
whose role?
Jennifer Connelly role.
Because you just listed people, all of whom it would be crazy if Michael Jackson replaced them.
George Lucas was... Michael Jackson was almost a producer, and no.
All right, I got to look up. That was me typing in
Do you need me to summarize this movie?
Well, I don't... I might... I think I remember it. I just need to look at some pictures.
Okay. You know how, like, kids hate their
And
step-parents and their stepmom
Not just
makes them watch their kid.
look at pictures of Jennifer Connelly, who was a childhood crush of mine, probably because of Labyrinth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also to look at pictures of David Bowie.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, it has the big ogre thing and all the Muppet things. Yeah, I remember this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
She wants to not have to babysit her kid brother. So
Yeah.
David Bowie comes and takes him away, and then she has to go through a big labyrinth to get him back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
She makes
the whole movie.
unlikely friends along the way.
Yeah.
Several musical
No, I got it. I understand the movie now.
interruptions. Bog of eternal stench, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
David Bowie's an owl at one point, right?
Take your word for it.
Sean, did you ever try contact juggling after watching this movie?
No. He had the glass balls that he like rolled around in his palm, though. That was
Yeah. That didn't intrigue you?
Not really.
You weren't like,
No.
I'm into that.
No.
Chicks are gonna dig this.
No. Did people do that? Is that...
I have no idea. I mean, I know people did do it, and there are probably some contact jugglers out there to this day.
Oh.
And I'm sure it takes a lot of skill.
So what do you think?
Well, there's a lot of different areas in the labyrinth where you could make whole storylines out of, like those red and orange fiery guys that take their heads off. You know, could be a whole
don't, but continue.
movie just about them.
Could you? But what would that movie be like, though?
That's near the
Like
end.
it doesn't sound very interesting. It's just dudes who live in the like lava place and take their heads off. Like what things have to happen in movies?
I mean, how did they figure out they could take their heads off?
I know a lot of modern box office films wouldn't let you know that, but things are supposed to happen in movies.
But they, how'd they get over there? Why are they stuck in that side of the labyrinth? You know, why do they take their heads off? Is there a Happy Feet style movie that we can be made about taking heads off?
I never saw Happy Feet, but that was about penguins.
Yeah, it's about penguins that are really good at singing, except for this one penguin who's not really good at singing. So he's like feels other, but then it turns out he's really good at dancing. and then it takes the society by storm eventually.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess that you could just do that with people who take their heads off or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Was Happy Feet a big success, or?
They made at least 2 of them, so it's not a success if you make a sequel. It got 1 more sequel than Labyrinth got. All right, what about this baby that spent 13 hours in the Goblin Kingdom in a castle, learning under David Bowie? I mean, does his life change? Does he like internalize that?
The kid can't even walk. How does he? At best, this is like a distant source of trauma that he doesn't clearly remember, not a thing where he learned anything.
Fine. At the end, Jennifer Connelly, all of the friends she made show up in her bedroom, like in the closet and stuff. Mm-hmm. Does she have a whole sequel where they're like, now those people are in the regular world? Like she takes them shopping on like Fifth Avenue or something. She brings them to a cinema, shows them what her life's like.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, those are things that are happening, which is a step up. But they're not really interesting.
Does she do Ludo's makeup? You know
who that is.
That's a big guy.
Okay,
it's a really big guy.
Big ogre. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like.
All right. Okay. Is she done with the Goblin King? Does he never come back? That she's like, you have no power over me, and he's like, I guess have this baby back.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, I don't know. She could probably still summon him, right? How do you summon him? You just say, take this baby away, and he shows up?
Takes it away, and then when you're like, oh my god, what's happening? He's like, yo, you asked me to do something, I did it. You want it back? Get through this labyrinth.
It's kind of a shitty deal. But...
Yeah, well, I guess also that Al was hanging around a lot, so she was like stalking her before all this.
Yeah.
A 16-year-old, David Bowie at the time, I don't know, mid-30s? How old was he? I don't know. But, so, pretty creepy, but I guess he's the Goblin King, so maybe he's also like 100, and we just don't know.
Yeah, he's always gone to high school.
It's like any vampire story. It's just like, okay, it's old guys going after these young women. Okay.
Well, that's most stories. Now you're closer on the track of something Hollywood would put out, you know?
I'm sorry, you said you didn't want to talk about Woody Allen. I'm so sorry.
Well, I wasn't thinking about Woody Allen. That would be if Jennifer Connelly was his adopted daughter. What's the other guy?
Hoggle?
No.
Talking about Hoggle?
I'm talking about Hollywood people. Who always... Like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise does it, right, in his films. Like, his romantic interest is always, like, 25 years younger than him.
Yeah.
The other guy...
Yeah. You're thinking of every Hollywood movie.
I think I am.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Literally every movie, yeah.
Sounds about right. Okay.
Well, I mean, except for the last Indiana Jones. Well, I guess... Because they were both older people, but I think Harrison Ford is much older than... What is the name of the woman who plays Marion in those movies?
Oh, I don't know. Sounds like you're sexist if you can't remember, though.
I can remember, I just need the internet.
That's fair. I'll accept that.
Wow, it really does not want me to look up the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's pulling up all the other ones. There we go. Karen Allen. She was born in 1951.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. Ooh, 1942. So
9 years?
9 years. It's just not the worst Hollywood's ever done. And I guess since they're both like over 60, it's not as bad. Is it? Is that how it is?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
As long as my relationships maintain age appropriate, I'm just gonna live my life. You know what I mean? That's the closest I can think of, and it's still 9 years. So I guess it's a little weird. But we're talking about how weird Hollywood is in that regard. We're making a franchise out of this movie.
Kind of most of what this segment is, though. It's a combination of the two. Isn't there a junk lady in this movie? There is
a junk lady who collects all of Jennifer Connelly's like old stuff from her 16 years of life.
Yeah.
And tries to get her to stay there.
So that could be, there's your lead-in, right, for a sequel. Jennifer Connelly's all grown up, and she has a kid, and then her kid's like, my one favorite toy, I can't find it. And they go look in the closet, and they fall back into the trash land.
Oh my god.
And the trash lady's like, oh, Jennifer Connelly, You should go talk to the Goblin King. Shit's been going down, yo.
Oh, fuck.
And then I don't know what stuff's been going down, but...
Is it like the Never-Ending Story where in the second one you go back there and there's a different villain? Like you're helping the Goblin King now defeat another villain.
Probably, yeah.
You gotta team up.
Yeah, the second movie is the team up, yes.
He's less attracted to her because she's of age now, and he tried to steal another baby, but something went wrong.
Well, maybe that's the story. Is the Goblin King got married to a teenage girl, and the teenage girl is now running the place wrong because she's like a victim of abuse. It's not really her fault, but
right. I mean, you can't put a teenager in charge of a entire kingdom and be like, oh, why aren't you doing this right? You know.
I don't know how that movie ends. Maybe they all die. Maybe those people try to rip their heads off and throw them around.
I was gonna, yeah. Maybe it's like an accidental beheading by those fiery guys. You know what I mean? Like because they tried to get Jennifer Connelly's head to pop off, and it wouldn't.
Yeah.
So they're already like trying to behead people, and if you're gonna be taking over a kingdom, I think beheading the old ruler is probably the way to go.
That makes sense to me.
What about that dog that rides the other dog?
Don't know what you're talking about.
When they're leaving the bog of eternal stench.
Oh yeah.
There's this.
I clearly remember that section. Definitely.
And there's this puppet dog that doesn't let him cross the bridge.
Okay.
And then they become friends, and he rides the sheepdog, and he talks like a 16th century knight or something.
Oh, weird.
Can't. You don't remember that at all?
I don't. No.
Do you remember the third act? Do you know what happens?
They go into she goes and gets the kid back. Jennifer Connelly.
They gotta fight through Goblin City.
All right.
With that dog and a sheepdog.
Oh, they do.
Ludo.
I thought just the ogre showed up and just
Hoggle.
killed people.
He's a very gentle soul. Okay, he controls rocks.
Oh, this is kind of like the Never-Ending Story then, right? Like that big rock guy.
Yeah. A dog puppet that talks like a 16th century knight or whatever, riding a sheepdog. He must have adventures. Okay, because he had sworn to somebody to watch that bridge and not let anyone pass. So he must have had adventures way before this.
He's part of some sort of round table of Camelot.
Yeah.
Some sort of furry paradise kingdom he comes from.
I don't like that term, but yes.
Anthropomorphic animal. Nobody likes that term. It's uncomfortable just to hear it, but it's all they're all like little dog people or knights.
Yeah.
You could do a movie about that, I guess.
Just completely rip off King Arthur, you know?
Well, I think we would call it paying homage, but...
Yeah.
Taking inspiration from.
Yeah. Or maybe we make him we make it like a Game of Thrones parody, you know?
I think Game of Thrones is the Game of Thrones parody, so...
Yeah, but they didn't realize that's what they were doing, you know?
It feels like they did. It feels like those last few seasons of Game of Thrones weren't off the cuff. They had to plan that stuff, and they just did a really bad job.
It didn't feel like planning.
It didn't,
but
yeah.
Right.
But someone wrote those scripts, and then someone directed them.
There must have been quite the deadline for those scripts.
No, I know this isn't what we're supposed to be doing, but HBO told them they were perfectly fine with 10 seasons, 10 episodes each. And the two guys in charge were like, "No, we want to go destroy Star Wars now. We want to fuck that up."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't know if you've heard, but Star Wars came calling, so I'm out."
I wonder if
imagine what we could do with a franchise that's kind of already.
I was gonna
ruined.
say, I wonder if they accepted that deal before Rian Johnson already ruined it. They were like, "Fuck, you got to do it. Fuck, you got to do it first."
Damn it! I was gonna kill off all the Skywalkers.
Well, I can't wait till Rian Johnson revitalizes Game of Thrones. Can reboot it.
Is Disney Family still a thing? I think they should redo Game of Thrones. Maybe Nickelodeon. It needs to be more wholesome. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, when you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you get slimed. I could watch that. Another sequel you could do instead of taking it with Jennifer Connelly is a normal parent with a kid. Is that she's in an insane asylum. Talking about the Goblin King's bulge. His very tight tights.
You could see everything. One time he dressed as a homeless person.
And then she wishes that one of her therapists would just go away. And then the Goblin King comes and abducts him.
Oh yeah, the orderlies and therapists keep disappearing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So eventually there's just like a wing of this insane asylum where they just like push food in through a door and then close it and lock it, and she just lives there now.
Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman have to figure out to come in and figure out what's going on.
What is that a reference to?
7?
Oh, with the head in the
Morgan
box.
Freeman
Okay,
in
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reference I would have known is head in a box. What's in the box?
Fine. Leonardo DiCaprio has to come figure it out, but it turns out he's not a detective. He was one of the insane asylum people the whole time.
I also don't know what that is.
Shutter Island?
Oh,
Shutter
God, I
Island,
never saw
yeah.
that. I don't know what that is.
All right. It turns out they have to bring the Goblin King to Mordor.
No, I know Mordor, but that doesn't make any sense.
Jennifer Connelly lost something important while going through the labyrinth. She realizes it
Sounds good.
the next day, and so her best friend, an older failed scientist gentleman,
Played by Woody Allen.
sure, had just invented a time machine, and so she's got to go back in time where she's in the labyrinth to find this thing.
No, I don't like that.
Fuck.
Just it reminds me too much of another movie I saw. Why would her friend? Where do time machines come into this? This is a world of magic.
David Bowie does manipulate time.
With magic, not with a DeLorean.
Fine. Her next door neighbor is a witch who also manipulates time.
No, I'm sorry. If anything, Jeffrey, the next day, right? Maybe her parents are gone for the weekend or something.
Yeah.
They call and like, we were having so much fun without our kids, we're gonna stay out and maybe abandon you forever.
Yeah.
The kid's your responsibility now. Someone knocks on her door the next day, and she opens it, and it's Gandalf. And there's a little symbol carved in her door, and she has to go on an adventure with him.
All right, I like that.
And then at the end, she has to throw the baby into a volcano.
Because any woman holding a baby is basically invisible to all men. Is that right?
Wow. That's very sexist of you.
This movie came out in the 80s, okay? I'm assuming the sequel would share the same sensibility.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe the movie starts on, like, women jazzercising. Right? There's just, like, a long scene, and a long unnecessary scene of women exercising.
Yeah.
That's an 80s thing, right?
Yeah. Headbands and everything. All right, Dan Aykroyd.
There you go.
Turns out there's several Goblin Kingdoms. They're split up into like 7 or 8.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so there's warring Goblin Kingdoms. Dan Aykroyd obviously is the Goblin King of one. Sting is one of another. You know what I mean?
You gotta think of people from the 80s, but yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, okay, so the Ghostbusters. Yeah, we get it. The Ghostbusters each rule 1. Okay, there's 4. Boom. Move on.
John Candy.
Yeah. Was he still alive?
When
did he die?
In the 80s? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think his last movie was like 94.
Oh, wow. He was alive a lot longer than I thought.
Really?
I thought like 87 for sure. The end.
Yeah, because I know Wagons East was like 93, and then he had one more after
the
that.
seminal Wagons East that we all remember. The watershed moment when Wagons East was released in theaters. The film that changed a nation.
I'm looking him up right now.
The New York Times calls it bold, provocative.
How about the Sticky Bandits from Home Alone? They run one kingdom.
Sure.
Canadian Bacon, 1995.
Kevin, right? The Kevin.
Wagons East was 1994. I'm so sorry.
From the same movie, Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, that's the one. He's another Goblin kid.
Yeah. He was the one baby that was successfully taken. The sister couldn't make it through the labyrinth, and so they made him one of them, and he has his own kingdom.
Or his parents just didn't come home soon enough. Maybe he ousted the Sticky Bandits, the Wet Bandits.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever they are.
Well, they're the wet bandits in the first one. I think they're the sticky bandits in the second one.
You know, I only know those terms because you keep using them on the podcast. And that without that input, I would never have known that they were called anything at all. But Joe Pesci and the tall guy.
Yeah. R.I.P. tall guy.
Is he dead?
He died. Yeah, he died a couple years ago.
Did Joe Pesci die?
Joe Pesci still alive, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci's alive a lot longer than I thought he would be.
All right, the neighbor that Macaulay Culkin's afraid of. He's one of the he owns Goblin
I
Kingdom.
think you could just branch out into more movies instead of picking somebody so absolutely obscure. I didn't know that they existed until this very moment.
You're right, but yeah, R.I.P. Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern.
Right.
What else?
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
All right, well, I don't need to know. What
Pretty sure he's dead.
Well, anyway, our condolences go out to Daniel Stern's family, whether he's alive or dead.
I was like 100% sure he was dead until it didn't say at the top of his IMDb page. Like it says born, doesn't say died. So, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
All right, well.
Oh, something's in pre-production. Something's filming. He's probably alive.
Wait, is it a sequel to that movie where they puppet the dead guy around? Because maybe, you know?
We get it. Oh, maybe. He was in City Slickers, wasn't he?
I definitely would know that, yeah.
Says he's 61 years old. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, okay, all right. Man, was I not correct.
Okay,
All right.
Well,
all right.
so what other... So, okay, so there's a couple Goblin Kingdoms. We gotta stay focused. This is taking longer than I wanted it to
right.
already. Right? So some people from other movies, the Ghostbusters and the other one, the Home Alone movies.
the other one.
Okay, they're all Goblin Kings or whatever. What happens then?
Maybe they all try to get the same baby, because maybe there's a house that perfectly is on the line of the Seven Kingdoms, and somebody asks the Goblin King to take their baby
Okay,
away.
all right. So there's 13 Goblin Kingdoms arranged in a circle with the 13th in the middle. But the one in the middle has never had a Goblin King. That's like the Goblin High King. That Goblin King rules all the other Goblin Kings. So maybe the R.I.P. Daniel Stern, maybe that guy, we can CGI him, and that Goblin King figures out
Still alive.
that our condolences go out to your family. That Goblin King figures out, well, what if I abduct a kid and then just make him, like, put him in that kingdom after I've raised him a little bit, and then he's indebted to me, and then it's like I control the guy that controls all the other Goblin Kingdoms.
Oh, okay.
But then the other Goblin Kings hear about it, and they all go, no. And some of them are trying to stop him. Some of them are trying to take the kid for their own. Who's the kid, though? Does it matter who the kid is? Is it the kid is Ferris Bueller? Right? You like 80s movies. You know who Ferris Bueller is. That's how he grows up so cool.
All right, okay. How about this? Okay. They get the baby or the child almost all the way, a DH Matthew Broderick, almost all the way to one of the kingdoms, through one of the labyrinths.
Yep.
And then they're being chased by all 13 other Goblin Kingdoms.
Well,
right?
there's 12 Goblin Kingdoms, and the one in the center is the one that, so no one there
ones.
is, but please continue.
And so the movie starts like Mad Max Fury Road, basically getting the baby to one of the kingdoms and then all the way back to that center kingdom.
So that's actually a really good idea. And not just because Fury Road is probably one of the best action movies filmed in the last 40 years, maybe. But because it's like the continuous action, we can go through all of the different places and additional ones. So you can go through the trash place and the fireplace and the Goblin City and other places, all populated by puppets.
Yeah, and I don't want to say they're all driving like in Fury Road. They all have like their cars like it's one of those Hanna-Barbera cartoons with the races.
Yeah.
The baby's bouncing around.
I guess.
Well, that's just part of an idea. It can be chopped right off.
No. It's let's keep it. I'm looking at a list of other 80s movies now, just waiting to make references so that you'll know what they are
go on.
and then laugh about it. But
So the Goblin Kings finally get computers.
One
right?
Goblin Kingdom is ruled by everyone who was in 16 Candles. Is that anything?
They all get detention. on a Saturday.
Was that 16 Candles?
That was Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
It was John Hughes.
Oh, I definitely know who John Hughes is. So, so that made sense to me that you said that name. R.I.P. Our condolences to John Hughes' family.
I don't know. I think he's dead too. I don't know. But one of the Goblin Kingdoms finally gets internet.
Top
right?
Gun. Top Gun was in the 80s. Is that, Jeff? Is that any?
R.I.P. Goose.
Oh no.
Goose is dead.
He died.
Anthony Anderson's still alive. So the one Goblin Kingdom that gets computers, gets the internet,
Yeah.
is having trouble with female children in the area wishing that their baby brothers would be taken by the Goblin King. So this one Goblin King and let's say a Hoggle type character use the computer to create a baby.
Okay.
And it's a perfect baby. It's got magical powers.
So the Terminator.
And hijinks ensue. Well, I was thinking weird science.
Okay. Weird science.
But yeah, they Goblin Kings invent Skynet.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then a mad
and,
old scientist from the future invents a DeLorean and he sends a robot back and past with it. And
No, it's all magic based. It's all magic.
sorry,
based.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. I mean, listen, it's a rich world Jim Henson made.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure there's plenty more.
Yeah.
That could be pulled from it for sure. I mean,
Caddyshack, kidnap. Was that the 80s? I think it's the 80s.
instead of a gopher, it's a goblin.
Yeah.
One of the goblins. Yep. Rodney Dangerfield playing Jareth, the goblin.
Thank God he's still alive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you get no respect. You live quite a long time.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's been too long.
All right.
I don't feel like we've come up with any really good, solid ideas. And that's just going to happen. That's not...
Yeah. You know what? I think there was an embarrassment of riches in Labyrinth, and that threw us off.
I think it was. There were too many ways to go. You know, we didn't know how to handle it. You know, Pretty in Pink, right? That was a movie in the 80s we could have used.
Yeah. You love John Hughes for some reason.
I don't know who he is. It just feels like he made a lot of movies in the 80s.
He did.
What else did he make?
Just keep naming 80s movies. I bet you'll get it.
So he made The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
16 Candles I already said, and that's why you said...
Mm-hmm.
Pretty in Pink? No, that was the... what was the one you said? Weird Science?
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wow, he did make a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Prolific.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Never seen it.
Uncle Buck.
I don't know what that is.
Mr. Mom.
It's starting to sound like I don't like John Hughes.
National Lampoon's European Vacation and Regular Vacation.
Oh, I see here he made the Flubber movie in the late 90s.
Did he?
I don't know.
Home Alone, the video game.
I don't remember that being good.
Home Alone 3. Home Alone 2. Beethoven 2nd.
Beethoven's
Stay Out.
Big Break.
Yeah.
Candy.
He did
Candy,
a lot.
no transitions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go on.
This week we ate Sno-Caps, a semi-sweet chocolate nonpareil from Nestlé.
True.
Nestlé, which recently is being raked over the coals for having done pretty much nothing to combat child slavery in its cocoa production.
Do you want candy bars prices raised by 10 to 14 cents?
I would like it if every piece of chocolate in this country doubled in price. If the trade-off was that actual 11-year-olds weren't being held in slave camps, forced to work in cocoa fields.
Can't they do that with regular adults so it don't feel as bad?
They could, but they don't. Because
it has to be 11-year-olds. They've got such tactile fingers.
So Nestlé is a criminal organization, essentially, that we did give money to.
It's the amount of candy they actually make is astounding to me. Because I was like, I don't know, Nestle, Crunch Bar, I think they're on the Willy Wonka stuff. And then I was like, that's it. But every candy I think to get,
Yeah.
Nestle's got their name on it.
Well, they keep prices down by using child slave labor, so... And there's nothing, Jeff, there's nothing anyone can do about that. And they did...
No.
I was reading articles about this, just getting angrier and angrier. I've been really angry lately. I don't know if you heard, but Quentin Tarantino is making a Star Trek film. Yeah. So
he's wanted to for a long time.
And it's going to have an R rating, so I can't wait to hear, the captain of a starship shouting the N-word. That's just going to be real good for this beloved franchise.
It'll be Sam Jackson. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait till they start on like a big battle scene.
Yeah.
And then they cut back to the beginning of the movie, and then they...
Yeah. This space virus doubled everyone's feet. Their feet are
I can't believe they're
now.
actually giving him a Star Trek.
Yeah, I think he should also be in jail. But we're talking about candy now.
Who was trying to get a Star Trek TV series was Seth MacFarlane.
Isn't that why he made that Star Trek knockoff?
That's
series?
why he made that ripoff. Yeah. They wouldn't let him do it.
Well, they had to give it to Quentin Tarantino.
Is J.J. Abrams too busy? Is that?
Yeah, he's too busy trying to fucking salvage Star Wars from the mess that Rian Johnson made. J.J. Abrams is going, oh, jeez, oh, no. It's terrible, but in ways I didn't intend.
Where are the lens flares? Sno-Caps.
Sno-Caps.
Did you enjoy it?
Not really.
Do you like semi-sweet chocolate?
I don't know what the difference between that and non-sweet or entirely sweet chocolate is. So,
to me, it tastes more like a dark chocolate, like a very mild dark chocolate.
It didn't have any of that good bitterness.
No, which is what I like about semi-sweet chocolate.
I mean, it was when I was eating it, it was bitter to think that I'm trapped in a system wherein, candy that's optional to buy is actually made with slave labor in foreign countries. And that the government that represents me has done nothing to combat this. So, that bitterness was there, but that's not really in my mouth. That's just in my soul as a burden that I have to carry. What were the little pieces of shit all over them?
Sean, you'll be surprised to know.
Snow, as it were.
You'll be surprised to know that those are nonpareils.
And what is a nonpareil? What?
Those refer to those. It's like a starch. Nonpareils means hundreds and thousands outside North America, made with sugar and starch.
Okay.
Traditionally opaque white, but come in many colors now. But the candy that they make, these chocolate things that are covered in nonpareils, they also call them nonpareils when they're not branded Sno-Caps. So one of the ingredients is the entire name of this candy.
Okay.
I am scrolling through. I see Jazz Drops, and so I want to read more about that. Oh, when they're sold in the United Kingdom, they're known as Jazzles, Jazzies, Jazz Drops, and Snowies.
Yeah.
All sex stuff in the United States, but they're candy.
Well, see, I was gonna say, like when you texted me that I had to use this money to buy the slave labor chocolate, that Sno-Cap sounds like a drug.
Yeah.
And all of the things, Jazzies, Jazzos, Jazzums, whatever you said, those all also sound like drugs.
Jazz Drops.
Jazz Drops. Hey, man. Give me some Jazz Drops.
Jazz cigarettes? No way, man. Those are old school. Nowadays doing Jazz Drops.
Give me a hit of Sno-Caps.
Yeah, hook me up with some Snowies.
Snowies definitely is cocaine. Somebody has said that before.
Well, if they were from the United Kingdom, they were talking about Sno-Caps.
All right.
Or nonpareils.
I see on the back of the box, and I know you and the 4 people who listen want me to stop talking about this, but I'm not going to. It says the good stuff, made in the USA, with little asterisks that says with globally sourced ingredients. They
from child slave
fail
labor.
to mention
Weird.
the child slave labor, which is interesting to me.
But it's the good stuff.
Let me see. Just look up the Nestle CEO so I can add that to my list.
You can.
Ulf Mark Schneider.
Wolf?
Ulf, ULF.
Oh,
Ulf Mark Schneider.
Can you buy conflict-free chocolate? Like you buy conflict-free diamonds?
Yes.
Is there any like bar that'll say conflict-free?
Yes, there is actually one that advertises itself as like.
Oh.
Let me look up the name because I was looking at this was part of the. Actually, somebody mentioned in the comments. I think under the news article I read. Tony's Chocolonely.
Ponies chocolate?
No. Wow, you're just all over the place with your ears. Are you okay?
Go ahead. One more time. Tony's.
Choco.
Yeah.
Lonely.
Lonely.
L-O. I'm just gonna. You know what? I'm just gonna drop this link right into the Slack thing here.
I'm already on their website.
Front page. Together we make chocolate 100% slave free. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other companies. So I'm gonna look into that. I would really, since chocolate is optional to buy and nobody needs it, it seems like this should be easy to make slave free.
You'd think, but maybe we should try some of those Tony's Chocolonelys.
I definitely am. I think that's definitely the next candy that we'll try.
Okay.
Nestle's CEO, Ulf Mark Schneider, should be in jail for his utter failure, disgraceful failure, really, to do anything to combat child slave labor used to create his product.
Yeah, someone needs to take responsibility, and it's time for every CEO that make the most money off of these companies' decisions and are in charge of those decisions to be in jail. Mark Zuckerberg, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Who else did we talk about and not like?
I'm really Elon Musk.
Send him in jail, sure.
I was reading another news story about Elon Musk about. I mean, he's like a huge donor to like conservative PACs.
Why?
And well, because he would like to not pay taxes or have any responsibility to the communities which he exploits. Okay. But then people were defending him, saying, "Oh, he also donates to Democratic PACs." But when researched, those Democratic PACs are the ones that are kind of trying to pull the Democratic Party to the right. So, not really,
Yeah, so, he's a piece of shit. All right, great. Can't wait. I'm going to buy one of his cars. I'm going to love it.
No. You're not going to love it.
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos definitely
go straight to hell.
Should be in fucking feudal lord. Should be in jail. This is the subsection of the podcast wherein I say CEOs I think should be in jail.
Yeah. Any member of the Walton family?
Walmart.
Straight to hell.
Yeah.
Rise up, people. Hold on. I mean, sheeple. Is that what you do?
Yeah, we're going to have to start unironically saying sheeple.
Go right to headsup.threadless.com. Get your sheeple shirt. Show your sheeple pride.
Children help make the shirts. That's how you know it tastes good.
Tastiest shirt in the podcasting game, people.
Look, I'm not castigating people for buying like candy that comes from Nestle because much like capitalism, we are trapped in a system that we alone cannot change.
That's right.
You shouldn't feel bad about it, but you should also do at least something to try to change it.
Yeah.
Like, don't buy Nestle. And also petition your congressman to put the CEO of Nestle in jail.
Make sure the extradition laws are solid. Trap him in a country, get him back here, make him pay for his crimes.
I think we should put him on trial in the Hague. I forget what that's called. H-A-U-G-E. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I've heard Hague. So not your favorite candy.
No, for a lot of reasons. I also didn't like the taste.
Now, do you think what holds it back is the nonpareils on top get like crushed in there, and then there's like this fine powder that also goes along with it?
Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't like the little white dots. They didn't add anything.
You don't think they add texture to a chocolate drop?
No. Well, probably they do, but it wasn't good. It was just crunchy.
You don't like nuts in your chocolate. You don't like crunchy sugar and starch in your chocolate.
Yeah, I think we are seeing a pattern. Why, did you like them?
Yeah, I like semi-sweet chocolate. I've been known to dig into some just, chocolate chips that are meant for baking cookies, just going through a bag of those occasionally.
Well, we've all been there.
I like the crunch. I'm a crunch fan. I was into it. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd never go out of my way for these.
Yeah.
Except when I make you do it on a podcast.
Well, I had to go out of my way for these because I would never have bought them if you didn't say, hey, buy these.
You know, even with Sno-Caps and it's got snow on it, you'd think they'd make maybe the nonpareils like a little like minty to give you that cool, cool mouth feel.
That's a good idea. You should work for famous criminal enterprise Nestlé.
Get that money.
That money.
The more money I take from them, the less money they have.
That's true.
Gotta look up Sno-Cap varieties now, just in case they have them.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like something they're like, yeah, here it is. We stole this from somebody a long time ago.
Yeah. But I don't know what you can do with Sno-Caps. Like, yeah, minty would be good. A little mint chocolate.
Yeah, well, because they have similar things to this, but instead of like semi-sweet chocolate, they'll have like they'll be like light green or yellow, and I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
But they'll have some of that stuff in there. I don't remember what they're called though. ScreenCrush.com says Sno-Caps are the worst movie candy.
Okay, wow. Thanks, ScreenCaps.com.
Chowhound says Sno-Caps the best movie theater snack, so it's pretty
Which is it?
Pretty divided.
Yeah, which is it? How am I going to know if someone doesn't tell me?
It's got to be more personal
In their
preference.
clickbait bullshit article. Pam Dolan on Facebook says, "Hi, has Sno-Caps been
Oh.
discontinued? I can't seem to find them anywhere anymore." And this was in January 16th in 2015.
But they're also one of those candies where even if you can't find Sno-Caps, there's a generic brand in like every supermarket. Or, you know what I mean? It's one of those ones that's like just like a standard candy where it's like a gummy
I
worm.
went to a grocery store to get these, and I only saw Sno-Caps.
Really?
I did not see any other little... Because had I seen any other little things that looked like this, I would have gotten confused and had to buy multiple boxes of different kinds to make sure I got the right one that you meant.
Well, next to the Sno-Caps, you know how like...
Hey, hold up.
they've got
Nestle
those-
responded that Sno-Caps do exist on Facebook, and Pam Dolan says, "Glad to hear. I love Sno-Caps. But none of the local stores are carrying them right now." I think she meant stores.
None of my local stores have any Sno-Caps.
I will
on
tell
them.
my old manager at the local Walmart to order some.
But if you go into the candy aisle, you know where they have the
I just didn't want
generic
people
bags.
to wonder if Pam Dolan ever got an answer to her question.
Nestle, the company that responds, but not about child
Right.
labor allegations.
If you want to know where to buy their product, they're right on top of it. But sorry, go on. You were
in the candy aisle, there's always like the generic candy, which is usually in bags.
yeah.
Underneath that, there's also generic candy that usually comes in like clear Tupperware, like plastic Tupperware.
Yeah.
And that's where you're gonna find a non-Perel.
Okay. Well, I'm not.
They're
I'm not
slightly,
buying these.
they're larger, flatter.
I genuinely think
But-
Sno-Caps were bottom of the barrel for me.
Yeah, I mean they're middle of the road for me. I guess if I could buy non-Nestle, and I was in the mood for them, I would. You know.
I will say, when it comes to my rating system, right, when we talk about where we would put them, I don't think about the slave labor involved at all. That's based mostly on taste and enjoyability.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to the ratings, they're very very pure, very specific about taste.
Of course.
And how you
Yeah.
feel about them, texture,
Yeah.
enjoyment. Middle of the road for me. Middle of the road.
Yeah, they're gross. So, bottom of the barrel. Well, this has been the Heads Up Podcast with Jeff and Sean. I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff. Sorry.
Nice. No, we're leaving it. If you want to yell at us for desiring revolution but doing nothing to enforce it against criminal organizations like Nestle, you can email us at headsuppod@gmail.com.
True.
What else is there? There's an Instagram. My personal Instagram has been lit lately, so it's a shame that the readers can't see
Yeah.
that. But
I don't want to bring it up,
Listeners can't.
but it's great.
just a lot of picture poetry going on.
Yeah. Keep it up.
You guys don't have to like them, you know.
No, I know. I'm trying to figure out the process. Like, do you find the thing and then write a poem about it? Do you have a poem, find a picture, find something related to that, take a picture of it? Do you write the poem, take something, put it in there like it's just found, and then you manufacture it? I don't know how it goes.
I find
It's crazy.
trash out in the wild, and then I take a picture of it, and then as on my
Yeah.
walk home, generally I'm making the poem in my head.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Great job.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's real top tier stuff.
I enjoy it. I mean, Holly was just saying last night, like, Sean's Instagram has been lit lately. She's like, but I don't want to bring.
She did not say that.
She did, and she's like, I don't want to bring it up to him because I don't want him to stop.
She did not say that.
She did.
But
yeah.
Sorry, I was just
Instagram.
taunting. I was just taunting the listeners, not being able to see how cool it was. My pictures of trash that I then write weird poems about.
Yeah, so good. If you want to see less active Instagram and Twitter pages.
Yeah, Twitter. That was the other one. Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
At Heads Up Pod.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then there's another thing that you have that I always don't know about.
Oh, headsup.threadless.com, where the fursuit is still available. T-shirt. It's T-shirt, not a fursuit. T-shirt that says fursuit. And if I can remember what the thing we said earlier today was, that'll be a shirt as well.
I forgot about the fursuit. If you're a furry, and let's just make it clear, if you're a furry, we don't loathe you specifically. It's just the full, the movement to which you belong. This sort of
can't stand
group that you identify with. Just can't really don't want to tolerate them. Don't want to be around them.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Don't want to be in a position to understand.
Yeah.
So
this is the hill we've chosen to die on inexplicably.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Live your life, please, to the
fullest.
Yes,
absolutely. Follow your heart. Follow your weird furry heart.
Don't let our completely logical and normal opinions about how disgusting your lifestyle is deter you in any way from living your best life.
The worst part is all the furries I see on the internet will never be in on the joke. They'll take it too seriously. But the point is, if you are looking for a budget fursuit, we have the perfect solution for you. Yeah. So go give us money for it, though.
Yeah, if you want to dip your toes in without spending the full money on a fursuit, this T-shirt that says fursuit in Comic Sans is perfect for you.
It's perfect for you, dear listener. And I forget. This has been the Heads Up Pod, and we're popping off.
Toodles.
This sounds right, but I don't think enough about cat nipples to know, so. I'm not looking. You can Google possum penis if you want. I am not.